Old man spittin' facts, I'm a once-in-a-millennium talent, going straight from trash-tier roots to god-tier roots. Best girl chimes in, I'm a sword expert, and suddenly I feel like even a finger flick has insane sword chi. And all of this is because I've got one OP ability. Anything people hype me up for becomes real. 18 years ago, your boy transmigrated to this cultivation world. My master picked me up at the foot of the mountain and raised me. But the sect hasn't had a disciple with spiritual roots in 30 years. Tomorrow, the upper sect is sending people to disband us. My measly 5 senior brothers are scared of getting caught in the crossfire. So they're making up excuses like family emergencies, bidding farewell to the old man while looting the courtyard. After finding no valuables, they grumble and curse as they head down the mountain, leaving only me with nowhere else to go. I'm stuck playing weak with the old man, lamenting how the sect's on its last legs even though it's getting Thanos snapped tomorrow. But I still get up and head towards the bell-striking yard. Got nothing better to do anyway, right? I want to go hit those bells I've been hitting for the last 17 years. The bell-striking yard, every 3 meters there's a large palm-sized iron bell. These were gifts from the upper sect. Only genius disciples with spiritual roots can shatter them. Looking into the distance, the 80 shattered iron bells in the front row are proof of our sect's past glory. For 17 long years I've been hitting them, and the iron bell in front of me still doesn't have a scratch, completely intact. All I can do is keep whacking the bell while complaining. Just as the bell rings, Master Li Chengsheng, watching my back, sighs, with your intelligence and hard work, if you had spiritual roots you'd soar to the heavens in a single bound, unstoppable. Too bad, he sadly thinks, turning away. But the moment he finishes speaking, I feel a surge of warmth. My dantian suddenly feels like something new is there. It's a feeling I haven't experienced in over 10 years. Thinking of that impossible possibility, I excitedly raise the wooden mallet in my hand and strike the iron bell again. As the resounding bell rings out, Master, who had turned away, suddenly stops. The instant the bell sound fades, a faint cracking sound seems to echo. After that, I keep hitting the bell like a madman. That cracked iron bell finally gets smashed into pieces all over the ground. After 18 long years, your boy finally awakened his spiritual roots. The one hyped up more than me was my master Li Chongsheng. The old man literally ran over to me, shaking like his own kid aced the national exams. If the sect wasn't so dirt poor, he'd throw a massive party to announce this W first thing tomorrow. But then 2 envoys from the big league's Qingyun sect arrived on flying swords. Turns out, they were there to shut down our whole operation. Only then did I find out my master, Li Chongsheng, was actually a protector of the Qingyun sect. The big boss upstairs, showing mercy for his 80-plus years of service, specially allowed him to take a ticket to return to Qingyun sect for cultivation. But I saw that sneaky smile on the old man's face and knew he was about to flex. Li Chongsheng didn't immediately agree to the envoy's orders, but said there was still a disciple in the sect with a spiritual root, hoping the envoys could take me back to Qingyun sect to cultivate too. Only then did the 2 envoys notice this pretty boy disciple. One of them immediately put his hand on my shoulder to investigate. After confirming I really had spiritual roots, without a word, they snatched us up onto their swords and flew into the sky. The 4 of us flew through the clouds for 5 hours before reaching our destination. Looking at the cloud-shrouded mountain in front of me, Qingyun sect, I couldn't help but blurt out. The waterfall plunges straight down 3,000 feet, like the silver river tumbling from the clouds. Just me opening my mouth shocked the 2 envoys to their cores. Adding to that, they heard from my master that I wrote these lines when I was 5. The 2 of them excitedly suggested that after entering the sect, I should join the literary arts division. Who knows, I might even become a sage of Confucianism in the future. After that, the 2 of them took me to a small mountain. This is where all the disciples who haven't officially entered the sect gather. Everyone is waiting to participate in the spiritual root assessment tomorrow. After telling me that there would be people in charge of arranging things later, the 2 envoys then took my master and left. As soon as I saw my master off, I heard someone ask from behind, "You must be a new disciple, right?" I turned around and saw a girl as beautiful as jade. The girl said her name was Su Shower, the daughter of the caretaker here. After learning that I was also a participant in tomorrow's spiritual root assessment, Su Shower volunteered herself, saying she would take me to arrange a place to stay. While talking, I learned that all the disciples gathered here waiting for the spiritual root assessment tomorrow have spiritual roots. The spiritual root assessment is just to classify the disciples' levels, and Lingen from mortal grade to supreme grade is divided into 7 levels, corresponding to different colors, also showing how much a disciple is valued. After Su Qiaoer helped me find a clean place to stay, I shamelessly asked her to take me for a walk around, saying I wanted to familiarize myself with the sect's environment. Just as we were strolling, a commotion suddenly erupted in the crowd. 3 young masters in brocade robes radiating overwhelming aura passed by us. Su Qiaoer told me that these 3 are all princes of the dynasty, nurtured with the royal family's full dedication. Rumor has it that one of them even has a heaven-grade lingen. I can't help but admire these 3 for being born right. Seeing that my mood was down, Su Qiaoer quickly comforted me. "What's there to admire? Who knows, you might be the child of destiny with a supreme-grade lingen." Just as she finished speaking, I suddenly felt a familiar warmth coming from my dantian area again. But this warm sensation came and went so quickly that I even doubted if I was hallucinating. Earlier, when Su Qiaoer was hyping me up, I could awaken a supreme-grade lingen. I already felt like something was off with my dantian. After returning, I immediately closed my eyes and sat cross-legged, wanting to see if I could check what was going on with my Dantian. The result, of course, was nothing. Without starting formal cultivation, even if I have a lingen, I'm no different from fodder. Early the next morning, a bell rang on square, summoning the disciples. The way to participate in the lingen examination ceremony, I met my only acquaintance again, Su Chower. As soon as we arrived at the square, we saw a shocking sight, not the 10-foot-tall spirit-testing crystal at the center, but the three princes we met yesterday. They were once again bathing in the celestial light falling from the sky. This indicates that they had already started cultivating before entering the sect. I couldn't help but sigh. Being born right is indeed a skill. Just then the crowd gasped again. Someone else descended from the sky. This is the new generation holy maiden of the Shilin dynasty. Lin Qingshui's entrance was very similar to the three princes before. The difference is that Lin Qingshui carries a cold aura strangers keep away. Rumor has it that she very likely has an earth-grade lingen, or even higher. Following that, the lingen examination ceremony began. Among the many disciples participating in the examination, the majority are trash, and then among them Ma Xun and young Master Ouyang flexed that blue earth-grade spirit root. They were instantly scouted as legacy disciples by a pavilion master and a hall leader. Then there's the crown prince of Great Qin, Qin Haotian, who was basically using an imperial luck cheat code. His natural earth-grade root evolved into a purple heaven-grade, making even the Qingyun sect leader glaze him. This kid's potential is infinite, they said, but the Saintess Lin Qingshui's turn was about to make everyone's jaw drop even harder. No luck buff, no shortcuts. She straight up manifested a purple heaven-grade spirit root on her own. While the sect leader was over the moon, the vibe among the other candidates shifted real quick. Even Qin Haotian, our other heaven-grade flexer, couldn't keep his face from twitching. As for Ma Xun and young Master Ouyang, they couldn't even hide how salty they were. Bro really thought they were the main characters until these two monsters showed up and gapped them. When the deacon elder finally called my name, Lin Mo Yin, I walked toward that testing crystal feeling like a dead man walking. Honestly, I didn't care if my spirit root was high tier or just straight trash. I just wanted to know why the hell I was scheduled to go right after these four absolute freaks of nature. The crowd went dead silent, staring at me like I was a circus act as I reached out with a hand that felt like it was touching a cactus. The second my hand hit the crystal, it glowed a dull gray, the universal sign for mortal trash. The audience just shook their heads, already writing me off as just another background fodder. I guess the gap between a genius and a regular NPC is just that brutal, huh? Even Su Chao looked devastated for me, but then the crystal started tweaking. It flashed from gray to white to yellow, and in just a few breaths it hit spirit grade. Suddenly the crowd is losing it, gasping because I might actually be core disciple material. But just as the elder was about to call the result, the crystal decided it wasn't done cooking yet. It jumped from orange straight into a deep, vibrant blue. Those two princes in the front row were literally catching a localized seizure at this point. But when that blue got absolutely devoured by a massive, blinding purple glow, the entire testing square went into full-blown meltdown mode. Another heaven-grade genius? You've got to be kidding me. This time even the arrogant Qin Haotian was physically shaking. Imagine spending your entire imperial fortune on a luck buff just to get matched by a guy with zero background. But everyone was still thinking too small, because a creepy red light started bleeding into the purple crystal. At this point, the entire world was about to lose its mind. The massive testing square started vibrating like a massive earthquake was hitting. Rocks on the ground were literally levitating from the pure pressure of my aura, because only a divine-grade spirit root could cause the entire environment to glitch out like this. Even the sect leader was holding his breath, scared to even make a sound. Right then, 3 massive gongs echoed from the ancestral bell atop the highest peak. 3 rings? That only happens when a god-tier supreme-grade spirit root descends upon the sect. Just as that testing crystal went full-blown crimson, the dead silence shattered into a riot of screams like nobody had ever heard before. Even our Ice Queen Lin Qingxue couldn't keep her poker face anymore. Everyone looked like they'd seen a ghost, staring at me while physically shaking. The Qingyun sect leader started glitching, mumbling, "Our sect? We finally birthed a freaking Keelan." But then things got chaotic as the red crystal started causing a massive spiritual chi surge. The disciples nearby felt like they were being ripped apart, their chi getting sucked out like a vacuum. Sect leader realized this was bad news, instantly flying up and manifesting a golden bell phantom to contain the crystal. Only then did the haywire spiritual chi finally chill out. I watched the crowd go wild, chanting supreme grade like it was a concert. I saw the elders looking at me with eyes full of pure greed. They called me a once-in-a-millennium genius while the 3 princes looked salty and Lin Qingshu clenched her fists. Honestly, I was internally screaming with joy too. After 18 years of being an NPC, I've finally become the main character of this world. Over in the back, Su Chao was looking smug as hell, like she called the whole thing. Turns out this was exactly the Sigma result she predicted yesterday. A few minutes later, the 2 deacons, Jiangnan and Jiangbei, finally dragged my master over. Seeing his own disciple awaken a supreme-grade spirit root, Li Changsheng was stunned for a sec, then started laughing like a maniac. He slapped my shoulder and said, "I always knew you were built different, kid. Forget a basic supreme-grade root. Even if you awakened the legendary god-grade spirit root, your master here wouldn't even be surprised." He said it loud enough for everyone to hear, making the whole crowd feel like absolute fodder. I was used to the old man's capping, but right as he finished, my Dantian started acting up like it was on fire. Right in front of everyone, golden specks started dancing inside the crimson crystal. The sect leader up in the air nearly dropped his bell, instantly telepathically ordering the whole sect to activate the sun-concealing array. Suddenly, figures on flying swords started zooming in from every mountain peak. With a massive roar, a fog formation began to shroud the entire Qingyun sect in total secrecy. Then, the crystal flashed a blinding gold, making everyone's eyes twitch as they remembered a 10,000-year-old legend. The one who awakens the golden god-grade root is the true son of fate for the entire Juzhou. As the testing crystal goes nuclear, golden light hits like a flashbang and the ancestral bell starts spamming rings like crazy. The crystal under my hand instantly cracks and shatters into a million pieces. Seeing the golden shockwave about to leak out, the sect leader panics and yells for everyone to reinforce the sun-concealing array. Too bad for him, this golden light didn't give a damn about his prep time. A massive golden dragon beam shreds the formation and shoots into the sky, painting the entire map gold for thousands of miles. This massive flex immediately alerted every high-level powerhouse across the Juzhou continent. Top-tier experts started rushing toward the Qingyun sect, desperate to find this son of fate with the god-grade root. Back at the sect's highest peak, even the statue of the 75th sect leader started glitching and shaking. The great ancestor who ascended 10,000 years ago sent a strand of his will back to personally buff the sun-concealing array. He conjured a fog dragon that literally swallowed all that golden light to keep things on the low. The anomaly vanished so fast that the experts flying over got completely lost in the sauce. The great ancestor stood there with that Sigma aura, telling the sect leader to protect this son of fate at all costs. With his job done, that strand of will just vanished into thin air. I just stood there staring at the absolute wreckage of the testing crystal at my feet. I was about to complain, but when I looked up, I realized the sect leader and the elders were all staring. Even the three princes and Lin Qingxue were looking at me like I was some kind of rare Pokemon, and honestly, I started feeling a little bit of that social anxiety kicking in. My master Li Changsheng was the first to step up, laughing like he just hit the jackpot. He started bragging about how my god-grade root finally gave him some major street cred. I looked at this old man like he'd completely lost it. Didn't he just say it wouldn't be weird if I awakened a god-grade root? I actually pulled it off, and I remember him whispering some sus stuff back at the bell tower, too. Is this old man's mouth actually goated? Anyway, with the crystal in pieces, the assembly was officially over. The other fodder followed the deacons to their assigned peaks. Now it was just me, the three princes, and Lin Qingxue left on the square. According to the rules, anyone with an Earth-grade root or higher gets to be a legacy disciple. Peak Master Sima Ran of Dayan Peak took in Sima Shun since they're from the same clan. Peak Master Ye Qing of Hongyue claimed the rich kid young master Ouyang. Qin Haotian got picked by the Peak Master of Piaomiao Peak, Mao Qianshu, while the Peak Master of Shaoyin Peak. More than 30 peak lords, their eyes burning with desire, all wanted to take me in. They wanted the child of destiny with a divine-grade spiritual root as their disciple. Sect leader Li Xuanji quickly spoke up wanting to accept me, but Yi Qing, who already had a disciple, interrupted. In addition, Zhao Qian and Sima Ran also argued, saying that my cultivation path aligned better with theirs. The other 32 peak lords also crowded around, fighting to take me as their disciple. The Jade Peak Lord said he wanted to become sworn brothers with me. The Azure Peak Lord promised resources at my disposal, and even a female Peak Lord directly gifted me a top-grade Spirit Tier Azure Light Sword. Seeing this, how could the other Peak Lords sit still? Some gifted 100 Battle Dragon Scale armor that could withstand attacks from the Creation Realm. Someone even gifted Jade Pendants of True Essence and Chaos Unparalleled Jade Earth Tier treasures. The other disciples watched with envy, their eyes turning red. The core disciples of these Peak Lords were even more devastated, unable to shed a tear. Seeing the situation getting out of control, sect leader Li Xuanji shouted that he would take out a Heaven Tier treasure to seal the deal. Then he formed a hand seal and cast a spell. The highest mountain of the sect began to rumble violently, the earth and rocks breaking apart as if a great treasure was about to emerge. This finally scared the other Peak Lords into admitting defeat, advising him to stop. I watched as the about-to-be-born treasure was withdrawn, feeling disappointed in my heart. This old fox Li Xuanji is really cunning, wanting me to acknowledge him as my master for free? I looked at the pile of earth treasures in my hands and could only swallow my tears and agree. Performing the disciple acknowledgement ceremony on the spot. After it ended, the sect leader acquitted my master Li Chongsheng. Considering his merit in raising me, he also rewarded him with a guardian token and 100 years' worth of stipend. Turning back, he didn't forget to instruct the other Peak Lords. They are not allowed to reveal the matter of my awakening of the Divine Phoenix. He whisked me away to the highest mountain, leaving behind a group of Peak Lords who had lost both treasure and a disciple, their faces filled with bitter helplessness. Sect leader Li Xuanji whisked me away to the highest mountain. On the way, he introduced me to the situation of the sect. When passing by the flower peak, I smelled a special fragrance in the floral scent and casually recited, a different kind of sorrow, hidden hatred born. The sect leader praised me for being worthy of being the child of destiny, actually able to comprehend the feelings of the flower peak lord. Arriving at the highest mountain of the sect, I finally saw the purple gold ancestral bell hanging on the peak, its light covering it and making it look extremely dazzling. The sect leader said this was the sacred object left behind by the grand ancestor. Originally, it had the ability to predict fortune and misfortune, and sense geniuses, but in the past it would only ring 3 times at most. But this special case of mine made the ancestral bell ring countless times. Inside the Azure Cloud Grand Hall, the sect leader solemnly told me to swear to the heavens that even if I achieve the Tao fruit in the future, I must protect the Azure Cloud sect. I agreed without hesitation. That instant, I felt like the heavens were intervening between my eyebrows. I knew this was the heavenly Tao's mark of binding. Then the sect leader used 2 fingers to tap between my eyebrows, transmitting the Ziqi Dong Lai Jing of heaven grade mid-rank. This is the orthodox cultivation manual of the Qingyun sect, adapted from a fragment of the violet imperishable pinnacle scripture of the Violet Saint. Following the manual, I closed my eyes to sense spiritual energy. What was originally a pitch-black sea of consciousness soon began to display dense, bright spots like stars illuminating the night. Very quickly, my dantian also connected with the spiritual energy. In just a few dozen breaths, a massive vortex of spiritual energy formed around me, frantically sucking in the surrounding spiritual energy into my body. No doubt about it, I had easily completed Qi induction. But next, when sensing the violet energy, I couldn't find a clue even after half a day. Just as I was stuck, suddenly my mind cleared and I sensed the violet energy. What I didn't know was that the sect leader Li Xuanji was nervously and expectantly watching me at this moment. He saw that I could draw such abundant spiritual energy on my first try, and recalled the scene of auspicious clouds covering 3,000 li at the Yanling Plaza earlier, secretly calculating that I was a heaven-defying genius with a god-grade spiritual root, thinking sensing violet energy would be as easy as waiting for food. Then violet energy poured down from the highest peak like a purple waterfall, dyeing the entire cloud layer. The Qingyun sect disciples all looked up to observe, and the 36 peak lords also flew over. Those who were wide-eyed and open-mouthed were utterly astonished. You have to know, this is a sign of Ziqi Dong Lai, an extremely difficult breakthrough into the tribulation realm, but here it is happening at the highest peak. I clearly felt that I had drawn a large amount of violet energy, but when I opened my eyes, I didn't see anything in the main hall, and even asked my master with doubt if he saw any violet energy. The sect leader also thought I couldn't sense the violet energy and comforted me that it was normal to fail on the first try. Back in the day, it took him a whole day and night to sense it the first time, and he only sensed a tiny wisp of violet energy. At the same time, the highest peak was enveloped in purple clouds, and 3,000 li of violet energy poured down like a galaxy. The entire Qingyun sect was alarmed, and the 36 peak lords thought their sect leader was undergoing tribulation, so they rushed over with their divine weapons. They even shouted, telling the disciples to form an array to assist. The sect leader immediately sensed 36 violent streams of spiritual power outside, and thought the peak lords wanted to gather and rebel. When he flew out of the main hall to demand an explanation, he saw a sea of violet clouds filling the sky. In an instant, he understood that I could actually draw Ziqi Dong Lai for 3,000 li. How could the son of destiny be ordinary? Turns out his vision was too narrow. But after turning around, he burst out laughing. The Qingyun sect had truly picked up a great treasure. After the peak lords found out this was my doing, barely 2 hours after joining the sect, they all inhaled a cold breath. As the purple aura gradually dissipated, they awkwardly withdrew their forces and left. Because the main hall has a protective formation, I couldn't hear any sounds from outside, so I didn't know what happened. After the sect leader returned, he mysteriously told me that I didn't need to prospect for mines. I had successfully sensed the purple aura. Then, the sect leader told me to rest at Keelan Hall halfway up the mountain while he had to go repair the shattered swallow spirit crystal. I opened the storage ring that Master gave me and dumped out all the treasures that the peak lords had gifted me. After personally examining and inventorying everything, I felt at ease and went to sleep. Early the next morning, everyone had to go listen to the elders' teachings. The other disciples and geniuses were rushing to get there. As for me, I leisurely sat on the magical artifact of a martial uncle and went. I even took the time to ask those geniuses why the sect didn't provide them with transportation. While Hong Peak Lord was lecturing, Sima Shun and Ouyang Young Master seemed distracted since they had heard these basics long ago. Looking around, Hong Peak Lord, who was known for treating everyone equally, punished them to face the wall for 3 days without food or drink. Even if you're a genius in the sect, you still have to be well behaved in his presence. Ironically, because I woke up too early in the morning, I dozed off and snored loudly during Old Hong's lecture. The other disciples all looked like they were waiting for some drama. My mortal body just started on the path of cultivation and can't compare to them. If I also got punished by Old Hong to face the wall for 3 days, I'd probably starve to death. Meng Tianshang, with a serious face, gently flicked his finger, and a silk blanket flew from the row behind, covering my deskmate. Cover him up, don't let him catch a cold. The whole world suddenly became as silent as a graveyard. What a Hong Tianshang treating everyone equally. Sima Shun, who was being punished, couldn't help but ask why he wasn't punished for openly sleeping. Hong Tianjiang bluntly replied, "He is the child of destiny in Shenzhou, causing 2 heaven and earth anomalies in one day. Of course, he is qualified to enjoy special treatment." Ma Shan reluctantly went back to his punishment. When I woke up, I was extremely embarrassed. Afraid of being punished, I said, "Actually, I didn't sleep well." Unexpectedly, Hong Tianshashang immediately announced the end of the lecture, told me to go back and rest well, and told me not to overexert myself in cultivation. When I got back, I found that Master Li, our old man, whipped out a dusty scroll from his sleeve, claiming it's a god-tier technique he's been hoarding for decades. Then he drops the bomb. "Other sects might be coming to challenge us in the Baishan showdown. And guess who's the top dog in our sect? Yours truly might have to step into the ring." Sure, I'm blessed with talent, but I've literally cultivated for 1 day. Gotta snag some OP skills ace before I get clowned on. Next morning, I'm zooming to the Divine Power Pavilion on Purple Cloud Peak, ready to choose my destiny. But at the entrance, I see Lin Qingxue flashing a badge and getting the VIP treatment. Turns out I'm badgeless, but the gatekeeper recognizes me instantly and rolls out the red carpet, letting me explore all the floors. Straight to the 6th floor I go, where the heaven rank skills are chilling. 7 stone statues stand guard, each looking more badass than the last. Just as I'm about to get my Sherlock on, someone calls out to me. Who else but Huangtao disciple from Luoshan Peak, basically my senior bro. He's all hype, describing the stone statues, saying the heaven rank skills are locked inside, needing some resonance to unlock their secrets. He even warns me that choosing the wrong skill could mess with my foundation. I stare intently at the Dragon Tiger statue, but it's giving me nothing. Huang Tao chimes in, that's the Dragon Tiger Divine Image technique, top tier heaven rank, crazy powerful but also crazy risky. One dude tried it, and not only did his cultivation plummet, but his spiritual root went from heaven rank to earth rank. Hearing that, I noped out of there faster than you can say face slap. Turning around, who do I spot? Qin Haoshan and Lin Qingxue also on the 6th floor. Qin Haoshan's been meditating before the Sun Moon Shankun statue for ages, probably failed to resonate, so he's tapping out. Lin Qingxue's vibing with the ruler bird statue, eyes closed, seems like she's getting somewhere. I decide to go for the Sun Moon Shankun statue that Qin Haotian just gave up on plopping down to try my luck. Meanwhile, on the highest peak, sect leader Li Xuanqi and Luoshan Peak Lord Zhang Wuji are jawing about the Baishan meet. Hearing I'm at the Divine Power Pavilion, the sect leader suddenly remembers the Dragon Tiger Divine Image technique. They both rush over, scared I'm gonna risk it all on that dangerous skill. Reaching the pavilion, Huang Tao tells them I went with the Sun Moon Chankan thing. They both breathe a sigh of relief. Zhang Wuji teases only the Dragon Tiger Divine Image technique can cause abnormal phenomena. Tells Li Xuanqi to chill, but mid-sentence the pavilion starts buzzing and a weird vibe is radiating from inside. So I'm sitting cross-legged before the Sun Moon Chankan statue, feeling its vibrations syncing up with my heartbeat. Normally one thought and boom, enlightenment. But I felt like it wasn't perfect, so I kept probing deeper, trying to unlock the ultimate secrets. Qin Haoshan is side-eyeing me, thinking my god-tier root should make resonating a piece of cake, but secretly he's hoping I fail hard. Just as I'm about to give up, bam, me and the stone statue lock into a crazy connection. The massive amount of divine power within the stone statue hit my brain like a freaking waterfall. The stone statue then started vibrating violently, emitting an increasingly loud roar, immediately stunning Qin Haotian and Lin Qingxue. Outside the Divine Power Pavilion, sect leader Li Xuanji and the other 3 realized what was happening. Their expressions drastically changed. They immediately ordered the disciples to evacuate, reminding everyone that the destructive power of the Divine Power phenomenon was immense. Get out of here, ASAP. As the disciples in the pavilion quickly retreated, Qin Haotian and Lin Qingxue also flew out, leaving only me sitting cross-legged before the stone statue. The stone statue vibrated more and more violently, finally exploding. The mountains and rivers, sun and moon phenomenon with yours truly as the epicenter began to spread. The 7-story Divine Power Pavilion turned to dust in an instant. Li Xuanji and the other 3 combined their power to create a giant, illusory golden bell to cover the Divine Power Pavilion. But under the impact of the phenomenon, the golden bell shattered instantly. On the highest peak, the sect bell rang 3 times in a row. This is the sign of an ultra-grade divine power being born. The 35 peak lords and 108 guardians started arriving one after another. Looking at the clear cloud sect with the sun and moon inverted, the mountains and rivers reversed. After the illusion appeared, everyone was completely stunned. I floated in the void, divine power laws flowing into my brain like rivers and lakes, but gradually exceeding my limit. The red sun shattered within the phenomenon, the moon fell into the river, and the universe became chaotic. The peak lords all lamented, thinking that my cultivation was too low, and I would ultimately miss out on the ultra-grade divine power. But at this moment, my master Li Changsheng stepped out from the guardian ranks into the air. He clenched his fists and shouted, Lin Mo Yin can definitely do it. Your master believes in you. You can definitely grasp the sun and moon and reverse the universe. As soon as Li Changsheng finished speaking, I suddenly stood up, and an inexplicable force spread throughout my body. I gritted my teeth and absorbed all the divine power laws. At this point, the tilted mountains and rivers were supported, and the reversed rivers flowed back. The inverted universe returned to its original position, and the shrunken sun and moon flew back into the palm of my hand. The mountains and rivers beneath my feet rose up, supporting my body. I opened my eyes, light flashed, and I shouted loudly, grasping the sun and moon, picking stars from the sky, there is no one like me in this world. My voice, like a great golden bell, resounded throughout the clear cloud sect. Following that, the phenomenon gradually contracted, merging into my body. A universe cauldron appeared under my feet, lifting me up in front of everyone. Sect leader Li Xuanji asked with great joy, what do you want to test? I want to test the power of the divine power I just obtained. Senior brother Huang Dao volunteered to spar, and even lowered his cultivation to the spirit origin realm. I stood on the as-you-wish universe cauldron, my hands virtually grasping the universe diagram as a vortex of crazy spiritual energy poured into my body. The Cancun diagram stretched from 10 zhang to over 100, its terrifying power spreading in all directions. Huang Tao realized things were going south and wanted to retract his suppression and retreat. But I was already locked and loaded, unleashing the 100-Zhang Chankun diagram with earth-shattering force. Big bro, don't run away. As Huang Tao retreated, he released his suppressed power, instantly restoring his peak Yuanshan realm aura. This absolute unit thought that would be enough to withstand the attack. The next moment, the Qiankun diagram slammed into him. At the crucial moment, the sect leader intervened, shattering the power of the Qiankun diagram and dispelling the spiritual energy fluctuations. After the dust settled, I saw that Huang Tao was unharmed, which was a bit of a letdown. So much for the so-called power of a top-grade divine ability. The other disciples heard me say this and immediately started sobbing. A newbie who's only cultivated for 3 days like me actually forced back a peak Yuanshan realm powerhouse. They must feel like total trash. Sect leader Li Xuanchen praised me a bit, then dismissed everyone to return to their cultivation peaks. Back at the Kilin Hall, I had barely laid down when I heard someone calling me from outside. I opened the door and didn't recognize the person. Turns out it was senior brother Lu Yuan, the guy selected for the Qingyun sect 30 years ago, now already an inner disciple at the Yuling realm minor completion stage. He came to ask me to help him get a rank 3 Dan scripture from the Pill Scripture Pavilion. He's been stuck as a rank 3 alchemist for a while, but doesn't have enough contribution points to reach the higher levels of the Pill Pavilion to get the corresponding rank 3 Dan scripture. Seeing me agree without hesitation, senior brother Lu Yuan smiled and praised me. Junior brother's talent is extraordinary. Your cultivation speed will definitely be 1,000 miles a day. Who knows, you might break through without even noticing. As soon as he finished speaking, I suddenly felt something was wrong, especially as my dantian suddenly started to heat up, but then calmed down a moment later. I told senior brother Lu Yuan to wait for me there and immediately flew to Spirit Medicine Peak. The old man guarding the Dan Scripture Pavilion recognized me and let me pass without a word. Didn't even need to check my token or deduct contribution points. I skimmed through the basics of alchemy on the first floor. Didn't understand at first, but then I overheard the surrounding disciples saying that all I needed to do was glance at it. As soon as I glanced at the Dan Scripture, I understood it immediately. I quickly finished reading the basics and went up to the second floor. I quickly understood the Dan scriptures on the second floor as well, and went straight to the third floor. Just then I saw Lin Qingshuo sitting in a corner reading a rank 3 Dan scripture. I picked up a rank 3 alchemy manual and instantly grasped all the secrets from beginner to master. I casually found the rank 3 alchemy manual that Lu Yuan needed. Turning around, I see Lin Qingshu still staring intensely at a single page of the alchemy scripture. A whole K passed and she's still clueless, so like a bro I stepped in to help. Lin Qingshu coldly questioned me. Why are you calling me Shime? You might not even be my match. I should be your Shiji. I chuckled and said, in the pursuit of knowledge, seniority matters. Skill earns respect. I also know a thing or two about alchemy. Maybe I can clear up some of her questions during her studies. Lin Qingshuo, being the tsundere she is, didn't believe me and handed me the alchemy scripture. After a quick glance, I dove straight into explaining the principles of yin-yang balance and the combination of firmness and flexibility, not only enlightening Lin Qingshuo, but even some sect disciples listening in got an epiphany right on the spot, rejoicing like they won the lottery. Lin Qingshuo was surprised by my vast knowledge, but still refused to admit defeat, refusing to call me Shishing. She straight up yeeted me out of the room and flew away through the window. After grabbing a few alchemy scriptures, I returned to the Qilin Hall and handed the rank 3 alchemy scripture to Lu Yuan. He was ecstatic, thanking me profusely before leaving. The story of me guiding Lin Qingshu in the alchemy scripture pavilion, for some reason, spread like wildfire throughout the sect. Some said we were flirting, some said we were head over heels for each other. Basically, the rumors got so wild that I sneezed 3 times back at home. I thought someone was just complimenting my looks, completely unaware that I'd become the center of the sect's latest gossip. Of course, some thought Lin Qingshu and I were a match made in heaven, while others were heartbroken that their best girl was getting snatched up. Meanwhile, on Shaoyin Peak, Lin Qingshui was about to blow up her cauldron during alchemy and suddenly remembered the yin-yang balance method I explained in the alchemy scripture pavilion. She adjusted according to my words and unexpectedly actually created a pill. A servant disciple, while bringing her food, mentioned the rumors outside, only to be met with her cold dismissal, but little did she know Fengzhu Huamei witnessed this scene, leading her to believe the rumors were true. That very night, she went to the highest peak to discuss it with the sect leader. In fact, the other 35 Fengzhu of the Qingyun Hall were already present, discussing the matter between Lin Qingshu and me. When Huamei arrived, she confirmed that the rumors were indeed true. Just as everyone was getting hyped up, they remembered that Lin Qingshui cultivates the path of pure detachment. Doing that would ruin her foundation, so they decided to have the sect leader remind me to be careful. At that moment, while I was checking out the Pill Sutras in the Qilin Hall, guess who decided to drop by? Lin Qingshui herself. She gifted me a white jade sacred lotus, a flower that only blooms once every 50 years. Said it was to thank me for giving her pointers. I was about to casually accept it, but plot twist incoming. This lotus instantly transformed into a beam of light and dove right into my body. In an instant, I felt my spiritual chi circulation speed increase by like a full 100%. Wait, did I just level up like crazy? Lin Qingshui was internally shocked at my cultivation speed. She didn't even flinch. Then the sect leader and all the peak lords chose this exact moment to barge in. Seeing us hand in hand, they thought our relationship was sus-af and noped right out of there. Lin Qingshu also didn't want to linger, and before leaving she emphasized that She won't be considered my junior sister until after tomorrow's ranking tournament. Then she gracefully bounced, but her leaving was spotted by other disciples. The rumors started flying around, getting wilder and wilder. Some even said the emperor himself would grant us a marriage decree. Late at night, the sect leader came to find me alone, asking me privately about my relationship with Lin Qingshui. I was stuck between crying and laughing as I explained that I only gave her some advice on the Pill Sutras, nothing more. The sect leader finally understood. It was all just a misunderstanding. On the other side, Lin Qingyo was desperately trying to explain things to the Shaoyin Peak Lord, even worrying that her reputation was going to take a hit. She decided to use a duel to clear up the rumors. Early the next morning, I was cultivating on the mountain peak. Lin Qingxiu suddenly flew over, pulled out her sword, pointed it at me, and intentionally spoke loudly to attract the surrounding disciples. The sect disciples started buzzing like crazy, some thinking we were lovers turned enemies, and some even calling me a scum. Those female disciples were even angrier and wanted to beat me up. A few disciples from the Pill Sutra Hall wanted to clear my name, but nobody believed them. I decided to just close my eyes and let Lin Qingxiu vent. Of course, I definitely wouldn't let anyone know that I was wearing the 100 Battle Dragon scale armor. Thankfully, sect leader Li Xuan's arrived in time to publicly clarify the misunderstandings between me and Lin Qingshui. He not only dismissed the surrounding disciples, but also ordered those who spread the rumors to go to the punishment hall and take their punishment. Lin Qingshui calmed down and also left, feeling embarrassed. Afterward, the sect leader took me to the Azure Cloud Great Hall, informing me that the major sects would be visiting tomorrow. Originally, they were preparing for Qin Haoxin and Lin Qingshui to step up, but unfortunately, the Wanjian sect has a Sword Dao prodigy emerge, so I, this trash, have to step up to make up for it. But to keep my god-tier spiritual root a secret, the sect leader hooked me up with a fake heavenly mirror. Word is, this thing can block spirit sense peeking from anyone below the creation realm. Meanwhile, back at the ranch at the foot of the tallest peak, my Shisheng Lu Yuan barely cracked open the first 5 pages of the Tier 3 pill scripture I brought back, and already thought he was hot stuff and could whip up a Tier 3 elixir. After a whole lot of fussing, the pill furnace finally started shaking and belching smoke. Lo and behold, when the smoke cleared, he actually managed to cook up a wood spirit pill. Lu Yuan was instantly over the moon. Moshidi, words can't express my gratitude. May your cultivation improve by leaps and bounds and your realm breakthroughs be swift and powerful. Little did I know about any of this. I was frantically searching for a toilet all over the Qilin Hall. After running all over the main hall without finding one, I had to fly down the mountain ready to drop a deuce when suddenly my Dantian started rumbling. The Ziki Donglai Jing cultivation technique went into overdrive. Spirit chi surged in like a raging nonstop. Looks like our boy's about to break through, no cap. I had no choice but to cross my legs and sit down, forming hand seals as my aura kept climbing and violet chi started spreading out. Up in the sky, a massive white cloud was rapidly turning golden, and inside it was crackling with some serious lightning power. Sensing the spiritual fluctuations, the sect leader zoomed over Asai. When he realized I was the one about to break through, he was straight up shocked. A minor breakthrough in the spirit connection realm triggering a lightning tribulation? Never heard of that, even in the wider cultivation world. Soon all 36 peak lords and countless disciples swarmed in, all nervously watching me sitting cross-legged under the thundercloud. Truth be told, I was freaking out inside, but not because of the lightning's power, but because I really had to pee. Seeing the lightning hanging up there forever, I couldn't hold it in anymore and yelled, "Come on, hit me!" In a flash, golden lightning struck me, instantly activating the 100 Battle Dragon scale armor I was wearing underneath. The golden dragon's illusion manifested, a dragon's roar shook the sky, and it steadfastly blocked the lightning tribulation's power. I seized the chance to frantically absorb spirit chi, boosting my aura threefold, instantly reaching the spirit connection realm. Then, I tossed out the Qiankun diagram, shattering the lightning tribulation into smithereens, and a tribulation mark quietly appeared on my forehead. Fresh out of breakthrough, I couldn't hold it anymore, hopping on the Lu Yuan saw me at the foot of the mountain and, thinking I was down because of my breakthrough, came over with a consoling look. Little did he know I just brushed past him, barged into his house, and borrowed his toilet for a sec. Sect leader Li Xuanji secretly vowed to build me my own private outhouse next to the Qilin Hall. Early the next morning, the martial arts training ground of the Qingyun sect started buzzing, and with that, the sect's grand formation was activated. Geniuses from friendly sects like Beishang Mountain and Tianyu sect flew in one after another. Finally, the geniuses of Baihua sect and Wanjin sect descended from the sky. Hua Wuke of the Baihua's lotus, a folding fan in hand. Qilin of the Wanjian sect was surrounded by sword energy, looking all arrogant. These two showed no respect to sect leader Li Xuanji and the peak masters, making everyone angry. Just then, the highest peak emitted a dazzling golden light. Our boy stomping on the keen burst, holding the Tianji Jade fan, a true dragon's aura enveloped the entire arena, shocking everyone. After the mountain worship ceremony began, Sima Shun and Zhao Feiyan battled with fire. Lin Qingshui used icy sword energy, defeating Su Chenhao, while Tian used domineering dragon fist to win. In the end, only I remained. Wu Kei and Qilin hadn't made a move yet. Qilin was the first to jump out and provoke me, only to be defeated by my one sword strike. Seeing Qilin's miserable defeat, Wu Kei's palms got sweaty, but he still refused to back down. He immediately unleashed the Baihua sect's top-grade divine power, the 3000 Lotus Leaf Illusion. Green lotus flowers appeared above his head. Since I had expended too much spirit energy earlier, I resorted to a trick. Though your defense is strong, it has a weak point. If I attack your heel, you won't be able to resist. Saying that, I immediately turned around, intentionally leaving behind a profound and unpredictable silhouette. The Wuke was extremely shocked at this moment. The 3000 Lotus Leaf illusion couldn't protect his heel. Knowing he definitely couldn't withstand my sword energy, he could only disappointedly lower his head and withdraw his divine power, defeated without even fighting. Without a doubt, I had completely secured my title as the #1 genius. After the mountain worship ceremony ended, the sect organized a grand banquet, and the sect leader suggested I write a poem. Everyone turned their gaze towards me, even Lin Qingshui looked over curiously. Helpless, I could only stand up and recite. Long winds and surging waves will come, I will set my cloud sail and cross the sea. Unexpectedly, as soon as the poem was finished, literary energy soared to the sky and Pavilion Master Gongsun Han of Wenku Pavilion flew over to investigate. Literary talents descended from the sky like a rolling tide, followed by the sound of the great path enveloping me from the rooftops. Who knew that the poem I casually recited would be recognized by the literary path? Even Gongsun, the pavilion master who used literature to attain the Tao, the only one in Qingyun sect in hundreds of years, had never seen such a phenomenon. The Tao ripples spread throughout Qingyun sect, causing all the statues in the Wenchu pavilion to resonate together. From within, a massive amount of Wendao Qi gushed out, converging into a pillar of light, transforming into a ball of light in front of our boy, revealing a set of the 4 treasures of the study. Our MC grabbed the brush and wrote down the poems he had just recited. The 4 treasures of the study instantly transformed into a mark, merging into the palm of his hand. NG. After handling the aftermath, our MC went to Taizhen Peak Pavilion to pay respects to Gongsun Han. After a chat, Gongsun Han lamented that the solitary Wendao of Deep Peak was too desolate. Our MC shook his head and retorted, saying that true Taoist camaraderie isn't about quantity but about the sincerity of seeking the Tao. This statement instantly enlightened Gongsun Han, who burst into laughter. Behind our MC, the light of Wendao silently appeared. The illusion of the 4 treasures of the study also shone brightly. Gongsun Han was enlightened by our MC's guidance, immediately achieving enlightenment. Behind him, Wen Qi also swirled. An illusory classic text lifted him into the air. The statues in the Wenku Pavilion trembled violently once again. A towering pillar of light tore through the clouds. A sky-filling azure light descended. Wendao Qi surged once again. But this time, Gongsun Han became the main character. The entire sect witnessed Gongsun Han break through to the Wendao Zhenren realm together. After landing, Gongsun Han clasped his hands in thanks, frankly stating that it was thanks to our MC's guidance that he had broken through. He earnestly requested our MC to attend the Wendao St. Child's Feast 3 months later. After all, Qingyun sect hadn't participated in almost 300 years. If no one went, the saint would no longer come to the sect to preach the Tao. Our MC couldn't bear to refuse and reluctantly nodded in agreement. Upon returning to Qilin Hall, sect leader Li Xuanji was already waiting there. He personally brought dozens of types of natural treasures as rewards while secretly planning to entrust an important matter to our MC. After the genius paid his respects, the days at Qingyun sect became peaceful. Our MC woke up early every morning to cultivate. Without even eating breakfast, in the afternoon he would either continue to cultivate or stroll around the vast Qingyun sect, inspecting the cultivation grounds and relaxing his mood. 7 days passed in the blink of an eye, and today sect leader Li Xuanji, with a grave expression, summoned our MC to the Qingyun Grand Hall. After arriving, our MC learned that the supreme elder of Qingyun sect, Chang Tianxi, who is also the master of the sect leader and Yao Chen of Lingyao Peak, it's do or die time, and if he can't concoct the Zhujuan pill, the old man is gonna kick the bucket. Yao Chen is the spirit medicine peak lord, arguably the top alchemy master in the whole damn sect, but he's tried brewing the Zhujuan pill multiple times and always chokes at the last step. Skill issue? Li Xuanji even put out a bounty across the entire divine continent, hunting for intel on the Zhujuan pill. But just how OP is this ultra-rare elixir? Nobody can whip it up on demand, apparently. The sect's buzzing with rumors, but they're getting twisted in the grapevine. Somehow a random disciple's blabbering turned into senior brother Lu Yuan is about to die. I overheard this garbage from some errand boy in the Qilin Hall and I slammed the table. Wait, what? Senior brother Lu Yuan is on death's door. No, poor Lu Yuan was such a chill dude, a literal saint. This ain't fair. My heart can't take this. Just then, Li Xuanji's voice echoes in my ear. Lin Mo Yin, get your ass over here now. I dragged my grief-stricken self to the Azure Cloud Grand Hall. Li Xuanji stressing over Chang Tianxi, looking mad serious. I sigh internally, Master, please hold in your grief. Li Xuanji's jaw drops. How did I even know about Chang Tianxi? Probably some peak lord blab during a chat, who knows. I'm doing my best, hoping for some good news. You don't need to worry, your martial uncle is chill and takes things easier than we do. Li Xuanji seems to be trying to gaslight himself. That's great, I'll go visit Lu Yuan. Wait, martial uncle? I can't help but furrow my brow. Lu Yuan. Li Xuanji is stumped. After some back and forth, Lu Yuan Shisheng is doing fine. The one actually on death's door is some granduncle I've never even met. I am Zhang Tianxi. Li Xuanji sighed, then hits me with another major quest. He's like, in a month, a secret realm left by some Wanzai Huan Shukong realm powerhouse is opening up and all the major sects are sending disciples. Originally, Lu Yuan was the perfect candidate for the secret realm, but our boy's about to break through to the creation realm, so he's out. All the other top-tier geniuses are either in secluded cultivation or wandering the world, so it's up to me, Lin Qingshou, and Qin Haoshan to make the trip. I accept. Then dipped out, leaving Qingyun Great Hall. My mind's racing about granduncle's condition. Even though I've never met Chang Tianxi, he's still the Shifu of my Shifu, so I can't just sit back and do nothing. But the Zhujuan Shengdan is a top-tier elixir. Even the Yaochen Peak Lord can't get his hands on it. And I'm just some Kirin Hall errand boy. Damn, this sucks. Granduncle, I haven't met him, but he's the master of my master and the sect leader's benefactor. If he just kicks the bucket like that, my Shifu's gonna be heartbroken, and the sect leader's gonna be depressed AF. Plus, let's be real, if Changxi refines the Zhujuan Shengdan and recovers his strength, Qingyun sect will have another pseudo-void realm powerhouse. I don't even need to spell out how clutch that would be for the whole sect. So with all that on my mind, I decide to hit up the Elixir Pavilion first. Even if I can't help, at least I can find out what the Zhujuan Shengdan even is. Maybe I'll find some clues, you know. I zoom straight to the Elixir Pavilion since I already built up some goodwill last time. The old man guarding the place sees me and like before doesn't even check my token, just lets me in. This time, I've got a clear goal. Head straight up to the 4th floor, which is totally different from the first 3. It's crammed with mystic elixirs and alchemy secrets, and a ton of notes from the OGs. These notes are clutch for anyone studying this stuff. After all, alchemy at this level is all about your comprehension of the Tao of elixirs. What I'm looking for is some formula that'll boost strength. Before long, I've memorized the Gathering Chi Pill, Earth Origin Pill, Flying Spirit Pill, and other spirit rank recipes. Each recipe can help cultivators below the Yuling realm without damaging their foundations. Flipping to the last page of the Elixir Classic, one recipe grabs my attention. The Xuanshengdan. It says, beyond the Xuanshengdan, there's more. It notes that the Xuanshengdan has 3 levels, Yizhuan, Sanzhuan, Zhujuan, corresponding to Earth Grade, Heaven Grade, and Supreme Grade. A regular Xuanshengdan gets rid of Qi and boosts vitality, but it's only for those in the Yuling realm and below. If you want to extend the lifespan of a big shot at the Tribulation passing stage, you gotta have the Zhujuan Xuanshengdan. I also memorized the Xuanshen Pill's recipe, thinking I might use it later. But little did I know, me casually browsing the Xuansheng Pill recipe on the 4th floor was like gossip on steroids spreading throughout the whole sect. Lin Mo Yin browsing the Xuansheng Pill recipe in the Pill Scripture Pavilion, combined with the sect's huge reward for finding the 9 Revolution Xuansheng Pill, and the rumors of Lu Yuan Shisheng about to kick the bucket. The disciple's ability to imagine things is literally book-worthy. Lin Mo Yin wants to refine the 9 Revolutions Xuansheng Pill for Lu Yuan Shisheng. The rumors spread like wildfire, getting wilder with each telling. The 9 Revolutions Xuansheng Pill? Bro dares to challenge that? I had no clue I'd become the center of this whole drama. After leaving the Pill Scripture Pavilion, I went to the Pill God Hall to find Shishu Yao Chen. Yao Chen was in the refining room, racking his brain about refining the 9 Revolutions Xuansheng Pill. He greeted me after hearing me and I shamelessly asked, saying I was interested in pill refinement techniques, and wanted to ask for a pill refinement cauldron. Yao Chen's eyes lit up and on the spot gifted me an Earth-grade pill refinement cauldron called the Dragon Phoenix Cauldron. 3 true dragons coiled around the cauldron and 3 phoenixes spread their wings to fly high. If you listened closely, you could even hear dragon roars and phoenix cries coming from it. I happily accepted the pill refinement cauldron and excused myself. Yao Chen's eldest disciple Yao Hong later ran to report the rumors in the sect to his master. Yao Chen was super shocked when he heard that. Lin Mo Yin actually wants to refine the 9 Revolutions Xuansheng Pill? Complex emotions surged in his heart, a mix of disbelief, anticipation, and a hint of feeling touched. Next, I went to 100 Herbs Hall to find Hallmaster Li Guang to get some medicinal herbs. I handed Li Guang a paper with the list of herbs for the Qi Gathering Pill. But this flowery-haired Hallmaster didn't even glance at it. In his mind, it's like, should I even bother? Lin Mo Yin clearly wants to refine the 9 Revolutions Xuansheng Pill. He knows the herbs needed for that pill like the back of his hand. He's given them to Yao Chen Fengzhu a few times these past few days, already memorized in his heart. As for why he only needs 1 portion of herbs, probably scared that taking more would be a waste of materials if his level isn't high enough to refine it. So Li Guang didn't say a word, went up to the 6th floor, took out a Qiankun bag, put all the herbs for the 9 Revolutions Xuansheng Pill in it, went downstairs and handed it to me. I held the Qiankun bag and considered it for a moment, smiled brightly, and then excused myself, completely unaware the herbs had been swapped out. Returning to the Qilin Hall, I found a suitable room to refine pills. Slapping the Longfeng Ding down, boop, spirit energy ignites the furnace. Before this bad boy gets too hot, let's peep these ingredients. Wait a damn minute, something ain't right. Is that an 800-year-old Qing Xuanye? Why is this Tam Diep Di Xinhua glowing like a Christmas tree? And why is there an extra leaf, plus 2 mystery ingredients? Slaps forehead facepalm moment. I mixed up the recipes, didn't I? These are the materials for the Qi Gathering Pill. Li Tongzhu hooked me up with the 5-year-old good stuff. Well, time to cook according to plan. Outside the room, Li Xuanyi and Yao Chen locked on with their spiritual sense, monitoring every move. Up on the mountainside, Lu Yan and Li Changsheng arrived with a crowd of gossiping disciples. Lu Yan, clueless about his impending doom, showed up for the show. Li Changsheng, he's sweating bullets. His disciple's cooking up a god-tier pill. Back inside, the first ingredient hits the furnace and the power is off the charts. That 800-year-old Qing Xuan Yi turns liquid and explodes with power. The Longfeng Ding is shaking. Oh shit, I think, as I scramble to adjust the flames with every ounce of spiritual energy. Clutch play. I found a way to redirect that excess power through the dragon vents. The furnace finally stabilizes and the ingredients are added. Talk about near-death experiences. I thought it would blow every single time. It's like an invisible hand is guiding me through this madness. Li Xuanyi and Yao Chen are watching the live feed, and their eyes are widening with disbelief. Yao Chen is practically vibrating with excitement. He knows the insane difficulty of the 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill, and this newbie Lin Mo Yin is actually pulling it off. The moment the 8th crimson aura shot out of the furnace and lit up the sky, Yao Chen went full hype beast. 8 revolutions, only 1 more to go. Li Xuanyi's heart is in his throat. The 9th revolution is the most dangerous. You gotta fuse all 8 auras. One mistake, and poof, all gone. The alchemist takes a major hit. The moment my spiritual energy dried up, Xuanji and Yao Chen simultaneously unleashed warm streams of light from the heavens, enveloping me. The spiritual energy that was once depleted instantly surged back. With the support of the 2 powerhouses' spiritual energy, I eagerly fused all the essence of the spiritual herbs and vital energy together into a pill. The dark red pill shattered the roof, a beam of crimson light soaring straight into the heavens. The radiant red light illuminated the entire sky, vital energy spreading throughout the Qingyun sect. Every disciple who took a breath felt refreshed, as if their lifespan had increased by several years. Yao Chen's eyes widened, his expression shifting from shock to ecstatic joy, as he exclaimed, 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill, it's a success. The aged figure of Zhang Tianxi appeared in the void. He tremblingly extended his withered hands, as if holding a precious treasure, cradling the pill in his palm. The pill was perfectly round, with 9 faint crimson Lindel energy, 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill. Looks like the heavens haven't forsaken this old man. Zhang Tianxi's laughter echoed throughout the Qingyun sect. I watched all of this through the large hole in the roof, face to face with the 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill. Did I mess up? I thought I was refining a chi-gathering pill, but come to think of it, why were there 2 extra medicinal ingredients? So it turns out that sect leader Li gave me the ingredients for the 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill. How thoughtful of them, they really think highly of me. To dare entrust me with the ingredients for an extreme grade pill, luckily I'm naturally gifted and didn't waste these spiritual materials. Thinking about it, I'm still a bit scared. An extreme grade pill, man. If there had been a slight mistake, the backlash from the spiritual materials would have been enough to overwhelm me. I might have ended up with both my body and the pill gone. But the atmosphere has reached this point, and it's not convenient for me to explain. This is a misunderstanding. So I cupped my fists with both hands. Grandmaster, although this disciple has never met you, your teachings to my master are undeniable. My master's kindness to me is as heavy as a mountain, so to my master's master, this disciple should naturally be even more respectful. These words almost moved Li Shunji and the other peak leaders to tears. Zhang Tianxi looked at me, his aged eyes filled with joy. Good grandson, tell me, what reward do you desire? I thought for a moment, I want to raise my cultivation realm. I wonder if Grandmaster has a way. Zhang Tianxi nodded in appreciation. His aged hand gently grasped at the void and a golden pill appeared from midair. A top-tier elixir, packed with potent and gentle energy, just enough to get our boy to the Yuling realm. And check this out. Old man just bit his tongue, spat out some essence blood and stuck it right on the pill. This blood buff can tank a full-force attack from a Dao Comprehension big shot, but it's a one-time deal. I ain't complaining. I happily take it. Bowing with gratitude, Zhang Tianxi then dipped to refine the 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill. The Xingyuan sect just snagged a top-tier alchemist. Massive W. Zhang Tianxi is about to become a pseudo-void realm powerhouse after refining that elixir. Sect's strength is about to skyrocket. Those Liangshan Peak disciples finally clued in. The 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill wasn't for Lu Yuan but for Grand Elder. Lu Yuan, still in closed-door cultivation at Luoshan Peak, sneezed like crazy, thought he was about to go berserk. After that day, I popped the Heavenly Creation Golden Pill. Felt this crazy force coursing through me like a chill river flowing slowly through my meridians. My cultivation level steadily climbing, fueled by that sweet energy. A few days later, Lu Yuan rolls up, asking if I'm down to whip up my own elixir recipes. Before I could even answer, boom, an earth-shattering explosion rocks the sect. The whole Qingyun sect is shaking like crazy. Wine bottles are tumbling, priceless liquor is spilling, and even distant mountains are shedding rocks, kicking up dust everywhere. Lu Yuan and I both look up and see a pitch-black rift tearing through the sect's barrier. This rift started small, but it's spreading faster than gossip. Looks like some scary entity is trying to bust through, unleashing thick, almost solid demonic energy like 1,000,000 black snakes. Wherever this demonic energy goes, plants wither, spiritual energy gets vacuumed up, and the air stinks of decay. The sect bell is ringing. No one's striking it, but the sound ain't good. It's the freaking alarm bell, deafening and relentless, 9 times in a row. Since Qingyun sect was founded, the 9-bell alarm only went off once 10,000 years ago when the Grand Ancestor was holding off a demon invasion. Lu Yuan just went pale as a ghost. My heart sinks. I read about the Grand Ancestor's showdown with the demons in the sect's records. That battle shook the heavens. Grand Ancestor soloed the demon army and then dipped to a higher realm. But Grand Ancestor ain't here anymore. Who's gonna hold off these demons? Shouts of terror echo from the peaks as the peak lords and protectors rush out. Disciples are scrambling back to their peaks to activate the defensive formations. Fear spreading through the sect like the plague. Many low-level disciples are already green in the face and some have straight up collapsed. I hop on the Qiankun diagram and jet towards the tallest peak. From afar, I can see sect leader Li Xuan standing in the air, looking more serious than ever. Golden formations are shimmering around him and his vast spiritual energy is radiating like a mountain. The 36 peak lords are lined up behind him, spiritual energies linked together. Hong Tianxi is clutching the 8 directions thunderhammer. Yao Chen has the violet gold gourd on his back, and Yi Qing's green longsword is buzzing. Dao Shan's fists are glowing with cyan mirror energy. Everyone is locked and loaded, waiting for a fight. The atmosphere is heavy. The rift is getting bigger and bigger, like something is being forced through from another dimension. Finally, a figure slowly steps out of the rift. That's a middle-aged dude rocking black battle armor. Homeboy's actually got a handsome face, chiseled features and all, but those blood-red pupils are sus af. Plus that black demonic marking on his forehead? Yikes. Shui Yuanmo, Blood Abyss Demon Lord. Li Xuanji shouts, and I see those fists clenching hard. Shui Yuan Mozun, I've seen that name in the sect's records. One of the demon race's 3 great venerables. Cultivation base at the peak of the Tribulation Transcendence stage. The sky is literally one step away from shattering the void. 5,000 years ago, sealed by the Righteous Alliance in the deepest part of the Blood Abyss. How'd he break the seal right when Qingyun sect's little shrimps are around? Xuan Mozun's voice is like 10,000 vengeful spirits whispering together. Every disciple whose cultivation is below the creation realm is straight up pale, with some even passing out. He looks around, a bloodthirsty smile creeping across his face. 5,000 years, this lord has finally seen the light of day again. With every word he speaks, the demonic aura gets thicker, and the sky starts turning gloomy. And Qingyun sect just so happens to be the first place this lord wants to level after breaking the seal. Li Xuanji steps forward, boundless spiritual energy like a mountain pressing down on Shuiyuan Mozun. Shuiyuan, how is your seal broken? Zhushun Mozun sneers, this old seal hasn't been maintained for ages. This lord wasted 5,000 years. Where are those old geezers from Qingyun sect who participated in the seal back then? Why don't they come and greet me? Oh, right, they've probably turned into a pile of dirt already. Before he even finishes his sentence, Shuyan Mozun suddenly makes a move. Mass of pitch-black demonic energy condenses into a colossal hand, bringing world-destroying power, attacking Qingyun sect. Under the gigantic hand, space itself is warped, and light is swallowed whole. Li Xuanji yells, forming hand seals. A golden array condenses before his palms, rushing up to meet the attack head-on. The sound of the clash is like the heavens collapsing and the earth shattering, echoing through the clouds. Shockwaves spread out in all directions from the point of impact. Ancient trees on the highest mountain peaks are uprooted, and several heavenly halls are shattered in the aftershock. Li Xuanji is sent flying back hundreds of zhang, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth, but he manages to withstand the blow. The 36 peak lords simultaneously soar into the air. Hong Tianzhong roars and the octagonal thunder hammer unleashes 10,000 bolts of lightning. Yao Chen's purple gourd spews out streams of poisonous goo. Yi Qing's green leaf sword triumphs a rain of swords covering the sky. Zhao Qian's fifth 36 beams of light intertwined, forming a dazzling net of light heading straight for Shuiyuan Mozun. Shuiyuan Mozun just coldly snorted, not even bothering to raise an eyebrow. Our boy casually raised his right hand, demonic energy converging into a gigantic black blade, hundreds of zhang long slashing across the sky. The net of light was instantly torn to shreds, as fragile as paper. The 36 peak lords were sent flying by the aftershock of demonic energy. Hong Tianxiang coughed up blood, and the 8 directions thunder hammer slipped from his grasp. Hong Tianxiang coughed up blood, and the 8 directions thunder hammer slipped from his grasp. Zhao Chen's right arm was fractured, and his purple gold gourd fell to the ground. Ye Qing and Zhao Qian both plummeted from the clouds. The protective spirit light around them was so dim it was almost invisible. The remaining peak lords weren't doing any better either. Some were injured, others had exhausted their spiritual energy, all in a miserable state. With just 2 moves, the power of the 36 peaks that the Qingyun sect prided itself on was effortlessly defeated by Shuiyuan Mozun. A peak transcending tribulation expert really isn't something we can resist. Li Xuanji struggled to stand up, his face ashen like dead ashes. Although he was also a transcending tribulation expert, the gap between him and Shuiyuan Mozun was like heaven and earth. The opponent was a peak transcending tribulation expert, an existence only half a step away from shattering the void. Just then, a wizened figure flew out from an unnamed mountain in the distance. Zhang Tianshi, you only refined the 9 Revolutions Profound Life Pill a few days ago. Although your aura is much stronger than before, you're far from fully recovered. But he couldn't worry about that anymore. With the sect hanging by a thread, Tianshi made his move with a force of 1,000 troops. Condensing a golden ball of lightning in his palm, he brought earth-shattering force to strike at Shuiyuan Mozun. Shuiyuan Mozun finally looked directly at him. Aren't you supposed to be on your deathbed? Still got the strength to make a move. Interesting. The golden ball of lightning collided with a gigantic demonic energy hand. Zhang Tianxi barely managed not to be at a disadvantage. Shuiyuan Mozun increased his power, and cracks appeared on Zhang Tianxi's golden lightning ball. His footsteps began to falter, and blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. Shui Mozun fully unleashed his demonic energy, transforming it into a roaring beast. Shui Mozun fully unleashed his demonic energy, transforming it into a roaring demonic dragon rushing towards Zhang Tianxi. Zhang Tianxi tried his best to resist, but after all, he had only just barely managed to extend his life. The demonic dragon shattered his defenses, and the immense impact forced him to kneel on one knee, spitting out a mouthful of blood as the golden lightning ball shattered. Zhang Tianxi was sent reeling from the backlash, his face as white as a sheet. Shizenli Xuanji and Yao Chen cried out in shock at the same time. They wanted to rush forward, but their injuries made it difficult to even walk. Yao Chen was about to run out of strength to even lift his hand. Li Xuanji could still stand, but his body's spirit chi was almost depleted. Shui Yuanmon slowly walked towards Zhang Tianxi, each step carrying a suffocating sense of oppression. His eyes were full of mockery and cruelty. Thought Qingyun's sect had some hidden cards, but it's just this much. The old geezers who sealed this lord back then were much stronger than you lot. Since that's the case, this lord will start with you and wipe out the Qingyun sect from top to bottom, leaving no one alive. Consider it interest for these 5,000 years. Black demonic chi condensed in the palm of his hand, forming a dark ball of destruction. Countless distorted faces screamed on the surface of the ball, emitting a creepy aura. If this strike lands, not to mention Zhang Tianxi, even the highest mountain would probably be flattened. The air was thick with the stench of despair. Countless disciples sat slumped on the ground, their eyes full of fear and helplessness. Some had already begun to sob. Some desperately clutched the hands of their fellow disciples next to them. Bruh, 58 seconds felt longer than 92 years. Hao Tian trembled all over. Lin Qingshuo's sword-holding hand was shaking. The arrogant and rebellious look of the past was gone. Lin Qingshuo's sword-holding hand was trembling, and fear appeared on her cold face for the first time. Suman and Ouyang Shaoji's faces were even paler than ghosts. The two princes were no different from ordinary disciples at this moment. Standing on the Qiankun diagram, looking at everything before my eyes, my heart was racing. To be honest, I was scared shitless. Shui Yuan Mozun's cultivation was at the peak of the crossing tribulation stage, while I was just a tiny Tongling realm cultivator. The gap between us couldn't be described as just an abyss. It was literally the distance between an ant and a true dragon. Even the combined strength of the sect leader, supreme elder, and 36 peak lords couldn't withstand him. What could a newbie like me, who hasn't even won a single fight for the sect, do? But if I don't step up, Shizu will die, the sect leader will die, all the peak lords will die, and the entire Qingyun sect will be finished. I took a deep breath, felt my heart pounding wildly in my chest, and then I stepped on the Qiankun diagram and flew out. Lin Mo Yin, get back here. Li Xuanji roared, his voice already hoarse. Shidi, don't. Lu Yuan below was so worried that he stomped his feet. Geo8 material, Frafrar. It was the first time I heard panic in her voice. Pretending not to hear, I flew straight between Shui Yuan Mozun and Zhang Tianxi. Faced with those blood-red, slit-pupil eyes, I'm fighting to keep my knees from buckling. Yuan Mozun is retracting the destruction orb, about to offload a Tongling realm ant. You here to offer up your life? This humble one is Lin Mo Yin, a disciple of the Qingyun sect. Begging you, spare me. You here to offer up your life? This humble one is Lin Mo Yin, a disciple of the Qingyun. Spare me! Hearing an ant begging is kinda amusing, not gonna lie. 5,000 years and finally I meet an ant with some guts. But your daddy ain't listening to crap talk. Die! With a casual flick, he unleashes a demonic blade of chi at yours truly. NGT. The blade's speed is so insane I barely react, but my body instinctively triggers the Qiankun. The mountains and rivers sun and moon phenomenon manifests to tank this hit. The Qiankun 2 collides head-on with the demonic blade chi. I feel an unstoppable force. Crack spiderweb across the Qiankun 2. I'm sent flying backwards. The golden dragon phantom on my 100 battle dragon scale armor flickers like crazy, absorbing most of the impact. Still, when I hit the ground, I make a freaking crater. My mouth's full of the taste of blood, and that was just a casual attack from Huo Yuan Mozun. But I gotta crawl out of this hole. Every bone in my body is screaming in agony. The metallic tang of blood in my mouth is suffocating. But I'm getting back up, because behind me are Zhangxi, the sect leader, all the peak lords, the entire Qingyun sect. If I fall, there will be no one left to stand in front of them. I wipe the blood from the corner of my mouth and once again step onto the cracked Qiankun 2. My legs are shaking, my hands are shaking, my whole body is shaking. But I'm still getting up. Disciples in the distance see this, their eyes turning red. 2311. Disciples in the distance see this, their eyes turning red. A Tongling realm shrimp facing off against a peak Duji stage Mozun, getting blown away by one hit but still managing to stand? What insane courage. This daddy will grant you a quick death. This time he used a bit more power. A pillar of condensed demonic qui comes crashing down. It's like 10 zhang in diameter. The space it passes through is freaking cracking. I grit my teeth and pour all my spirit chi into the Qiankun 2 and the 100 battle dragon scale armor, simultaneously activating Zhangxi's 7 drops of life-saving essence blood between my brows. The instant the essence blood activates, a golden screen blooms in front of me, barely holding off this blow. A deafening explosion. The golden screen lasts for about 3 breaths, then shatters. The aftershock sends me flying again. I tumbled dozens of times in the air, finally crashing hard into the blood. My ribs are all broken, snapping like twigs. The golden dragon phantom on the 100 battle dragon scale armor is so faint it's almost gone. The Qiankun too, it's straight up shattered into pieces. I'm lying here, every bone in my body cracking, almost unable to move. The essence blood's used up, the magic items are destroyed, the spirit chi is almost gone. I think I might actually be about to die. My vision's starting to fade, and the sounds around me are becoming distant and unreal. I look up at the sky at the dark clouds shrouded in no way. After 18 years, I finally awakened my spiritual roots and got into the sect. Am I really gonna die here before enjoying the benefits of being a chosen one? But right then I heard voices, starting with my master Li Chongsheng. The old man who always liked to brag and act dignified rushed out from the crowd, tears in his eyes. His voice rang like a bell, screaming at the top of his lungs. My disciple is the child of destiny. What's a demon lord compared to that? Lin Mo Yin, you can definitely defeat him. As your master, I believe in you. From childhood to adulthood, have you ever disappointed me? Then came the voice of senior brother Lu Yuan. Junior brother is blessed with peak talent. Nothing is impossible for him. What's a mere demon lord? You can definitely do it. Next was Hong Tianxiang, slamming his fist on the ground, roaring with a voice like thunder. Lin Mo Yin is the strongest prodigy this old man has ever met. He definitely has miracles waiting to happen. Definitely. Yao Chen nursing his broken right arm, his voice was extremely firm. He can even refine the 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill. What can't he do? Yi Ching propped himself up from the ground, his voice hoarse. Lin Mo Yin will not lose. How could the child of destiny lose? Each of the injured peak lords spoke up, but without exception they all said the same thing. Lin Mo Yin can definitely create miracles. Afterward, the disciples in the sect also boiled over, starting with a few scattered voices, then more and more louder and louder, finally converging into a roar like a mountain roaring and sea challenging. Thousands of disciples shouted together, the sound waves rising higher and higher, almost wanting to shatter the sky. No way. Did people really think that there was anything the chosen one with spiritual roots couldn't do? Bro even survived heavenly tribulation. What can't he do? He's already pushing back peak primordial spirit realm experts while still at the spiritual connection realm. Who knows, he might even be able to defeat a transcending tribulation grandmaster while overleveled. Lin Mo Yin is the child of destiny. Destiny cannot be defied. Miracles will definitely happen to him. Even Zhang Tianxi propped himself up. His old voice was weak. The child of destiny is indeed extraordinary. But his eyes never showed any doubt in him. As the sect leader, he shouted loudly towards me, lying on the ground, Lin Mo Yin. You are the once in 10,000 years Chalshua Desteti of our Qingyun sect, the one destined to shatter the void. A mere demon lord is not worthy to be your opponent. As your master, I believe you can obliterate him with a single move. This last sentence was like a key that opened a door that had never been opened in my body. That familiar feeling came again. My Dantian suddenly rioted, 10 times more violently than when I awakened my spiritual roots, 100 times more violently than when I awakened. An unprecedented power gushed out from the depths of my Dantian. Not a small trickle, but a flood breaking the dam. A volcano erupting. This power instantly filled my limbs, washing over every meridian, flowing through every inch of bone. Exhausted, spiritual energy became abundant again, broken meridians automatically healed, and even fractured ribs were knitting back together with cracking sounds. I floated up from the ground, golden light bursting forth from my body. The Ziqi Donglai Jing is maxing out on its own, spinning so fast my meridians are straight up buzzing. This absolute unit is vortexing all the surrounding spirit chi. The heaven and earth spirit chi within dozens of li are converging on yours truly. Zi-Chi from 3000 pours down again, interweaving with golden light. The phantoms of the 4 literary treasures fly out from my palms, surrounding me. Brush like a spear, paper like a shield, ink like a sea of clouds, inkstone like bedrock. The sun-moon universe phenomenon is auto-deploying. A blazing sun hangs on my left shoulder, radiating scorching light. A bright moon hangs on my right shoulder. The mark between my eyebrows is radiating purple and gold, resonating with everything, creating a magical synergy with all the power within me. The ancestral bell on the highest peak is ringing like crazy. It's no longer an alarm, but a booming war drum like the horns of 1,000,000 soldiers. The stone statue of the 75th sect leader of Qingyun sect is shaking again. The Grand Ancestor's divine sense faintly appears, but this time he just watches silently, not interfering, because even he realizes he doesn't need to anymore. Zhou Demon Lord's smile finally freezes. For the first time, confusion appears on his handsome, wicked face. Disbelief blooms in his blood-colored pupils. His voice wavers for the first time, because he senses that the power emanating from this boy exceeds the scope of a tribulation transcendent expert. I lower my head and look at my hands, feeling power surging as if I'm holding the entire world. I can feel everyone's faith, my master's pride, Lu Yuan's trust, the expectations of the peak lords, the shared fervor of the disciples. Everyone's faith converges, transforming into tangible power pouring into my body. I raise my head and look toward Shui Yuan Demon Lord. At this moment, there is no fear, no panic, only an unwavering belief. I can win. No, it's not can win, but definitely will win. Because everyone believes I can win. I open my arms wide, raising the sun with my left hand and holding the moon with my right. The sun-moon universe phenomenon spins rapidly under my control. The golden Zijin Long phantom roars and soars to the heavens, then dives down to wrap around my arms. Wen Dao's talent aura, Ziqi from the east, the power of a divine grade spirit root, the imprint of a heavenly tribulation, all of it merges now. My body's like a container, carrying the hopes of the entire sect, turning their faith into world-shattering power. I stared at Shui Yuan Mozun, opened my mouth, and casually rearranged the stars because no one is like me. The voice wasn't loud, but it clearly reached everyone's ears, like the Tao itself echoing through the heavens and earth. Next, I clasped my hands together, merging the sun and moon, and unleashed a massive purple gold beam from my palms. A beam as thick as 100 zhang and as long as 10,000 carrying earth-shattering might, crashed toward Shuiyuan Mozun. Everywhere it passed, space shattered like glass, leaving countless black cracks in the void. Oyan Mozun's face changed drastically, finally showing a hint of fear. He roared, desperately unleashing the demonic energy he'd accumulated for 5,000 years, erecting dozens of defensive layers to block the purple gold light. But that demonic energy was just ice meeting a raging inferno, instantly evaporating. First layer shattered, 5th layer shattered, 10th layer shattered, 20th layer shattered, 30th layer shattered. Shuiyuan Mozun retreated like a coward, each step shattering the void. No way, this isn't power a mere Tongling realm cultivator should possess. Just what the hell are you? The terrified Mozun screamed as the purple gold light engulfed him, his last defenses shattering like bubbles. The beam pierced through all his defenses and slammed into his chest. The explosion almost shattered half the sky. A purple gold mushroom cloud shot straight into the heavens, reaching 10,000 zhang high. The shockwave swept outwards for thousands of li. The Qingyun sect's protective formation trembled, on the verge of collapse under the shockwave. Remote mountain peaks were literally shaved off by the force. Spatial cracks spread from the epicenter, then slowly closed under the purple gold power. As the light faded, everyone held their breath. Suiyuan Mozun's shadow vanished, not escaping but completely annihilated. That pitch-black demonic energy, those blood-red vertical pupils, that arrogant, contemptuous smirk, all reduced to dust in the purple gold light. Not even a speck of residue remained. The cracks in the sky slowly closed with his demise. The dense demonic energy vanished like the tide receding, sunlight once again illuminating the scarred Qingyun sect. A Peak Du Jie expert, Shuiyuan Mozun, was instantly killed by a Tongling realm disciple like me. Everyone was stunned, like their souls had just been yeeted out of their bodies. 1 sec, 2 secs, 3 secs, and then the silence broke. Who even screamed first? Then came the cheers like a damn tsunami of hype. Thousands of disciples simultaneously unleashing some great crazy screams. Some were crying tears of joy, others were bowing their heads to the ground, some were jumping around like maniacs, and others were hugging their bros and crying their eyes out. Lin Mo Yin, the chosen one, just one shot at a Tribulation Realm powerhouse. Old bro looked up to the sky and laughed like a maniac, then looked up again and started bawling. Laughing, then crying. Mood. That's my disciple, my Lin Mo Yin, the Lin Mo Yin I picked up from the foot of the mountain. Bro was acting like a total madlad, just like a kid. Senior brother Lu Yuan straight up sat on the ground, mouth wide enough to fit a fist. After a long while, he finally managed to say, "Junior brother, are you even human?" Sect leader Li Xuan's, dragging his wounded body, came up to me. This Tribulation Realm powerhouse who leads the Azure Cloud sect now had bloodshot eyes. He looked at me deeply, then solemnly clasped his fist. This is the courtesy between equals. Lin Mo Yin, you saved the entire Azure Cloud sect. All 36 peak lords also flew over one by one. No matter how badly they were injured, they all gave thanks. Hong Tianchong's face, which was usually stern, was now full of excitement and pride. Told you guys, Lin Mo Yin definitely had more miracles up his sleeve. Has your boy ever been wrong? Yao Chen clasped his fist with one hand, his voice trembling. Unbelievable, truly unbelievable. A mere spirit connection realm cultivator one-shotting a peak tribulation realm powerhouse. Even the Grandmaster from 10,000 years ago probably couldn't pull that off. Zhang Tianqi's figure appeared again in the air, his eyes fixed on me. In his old and weathered eyes there was shock and joy. Good, 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 he said 3 goods in a row, each word trembling. The chosen one is indeed extraordinary. This old man has lived for so many years and has never seen anyone so heaven-defying. With you, the Azure Cloud sect can protect its millennium-old legacy. When I fell to the ground, the purple gold light on my body gradually dissipated. To be honest, I was also a little confused. That power came and went so fast, like it consumed something. Now I'm back to being a little spirit connection realm cultivator. My whole body aches, my spiritual energy is empty, and I can't even fly. But everyone's eyes are completely different when they look at me now. It's not the eyes of looking at a genius, it's the eyes of looking at a god. I shrank my neck, that familiar feeling of my heart pounding returned. That evening, sect leader Li Xuan's convened an emergency sect meeting at the Azure Cloud Grand Hall. All 36 peak lords were present, even though they were all bandaged up, arm-casted, and using crutches. But one was absent. Zhang Tianqi also made an exception to attend, sitting on the Grandmaster's chair in the highest position. The meeting had only one topic, rewarding Lin Mo Yin. Li Xuanji sat in the main seat, looking around at everyone. The serious atmosphere in the hall formed a stark contrast with the chaos outside. Today's events, everyone witnessed them with their own eyes. Li Xuanji's voice echoed in the main hall. Lin Mo Yin, with his Tongling cultivation, defeated a Peak Dujie powerhouse, saving the entire Qingyun sect. Such a great contribution, ordinary rewards are not enough to express our gratitude and respect. Hong Tianxiang was the first to stand up, his bat-fang thunder hammer resting on the ground like a crutch, his voice booming like thunder. I propose Lin Mo Yin be appointed as a Feng Lord. Although his cultivation is still low, his strength and contributions are clear to everyone, fully deserving of the Feng Lord position. As soon as these words were spoken, the entire hall echoed with agreement. Yao Chen, with his arm in a sling, nodded. I agree. In fact, I wouldn't object even if he were made deputy sect leader. Yi Qing, hugging his waist, agreed. Zhao Xian, wrapped in bandages, agreed. Hua Mei agreed. Gongsun Han agreed. Tianjiao Wendao, a top-tier alchemist, with today's contribution, the position of Feng Lord is well-deserved. Not a single one of the 36 Feng Lords objected. This has never happened in the thousands of years of Qingyun sect history. Usually, appointing a Feng Lord requires arguing for 3 days and 3 nights, but this time it was a unanimous vote. Zhang Tianxi also slowly opened his mouth, his old voice echoing in the main hall. If everyone agrees, then this old man also finds it appropriate. But if we want to appoint a Feng Lord, there must be a mountain. He raised his skinny hand and pointed out the window. To the west of the highest peak, there is a nameless mountain. The feng shui is excellent and the spiritual qi is abundant. It's close to the highest peak, convenient for the sect leader to oversee, and suitable for Lin Mo Yin. Li Xuanji immediately made a decision. From today onwards, the nameless mountain west of the highest peak will be renamed Mofeng. Lin Mo Yin is the Feng Lord of Mofeng, standing above the 37 peaks. Standing above the 37 peaks, the Feng Lords exchanged glances. Previously, the 36 Feng Lords were equal, on par with the sect leader, but now there is someone above them. Meaning Lin Mo Yin, although a Feng Lord, has a higher status than the remaining 36, second only to the sect leader. The hall was silent for a moment, but still no one objected. Someone who annihilated a peak Duje powerhouse with one move deserves this position. Who dares to disagree? The next day, Qingyun sect held a grand Feng Lord appointment ceremony. Thousands of disciples from the entire sect gathered at the training grounds, witnessing this historical moment firsthand. Although many buildings were still under repair, I wore a brand new purple gold robe personally made by Zhang Tianxi. Rumor has it the material is heavenly silk left behind by the grand ancestor 10,000 years ago, impervious to blades and spears. Holding the Mofeng token personally bestowed by the sect leader, I stepped onto the Chankan diagram soaring into the sky. Li Xuanqi himself adjusted my hat and tied up my hair. Zhang Tianxi personally engraved Mofeng's name onto the stele. From this day forth, the 37th Qingjin sect Mofeng is officially established. Peak Lord, Lin Mo Yin. Li Xuanqi's voice echoed throughout the entire sect. Cheers like roaring mountains and crashing seas erupted, with countless disciples screaming my name like total lunatics. Some were even so moved they started bawling their eyes out. Standing atop Mofeng, I looked down at the Qingyun sect shrouded in swirling mist. Beneath my feet was a mountain that belonged solely to me. Behind me was the reverence of thousands of disciples. Above me was a boundless, cloudless future. The mountain wind blew past, my purple gold robes fluttering in the breeze. Distant peaks shimmered intermittently in the mist, the ancestral hall atop the highest peak sparkling with purple gold light in the sun. 18 years ago, I was just a trash orphaned kid with garbage spiritual roots picked up by my master at the foot of the mountain. Back then, I didn't even have spiritual roots, lol. My 5 senior brothers all looked down on me, calling me trash. Who would have thought that 18 years later, the trash who couldn't even ring the bell would become the peak lord of Qingyun sect's 37th peak? My life suddenly got a whole lot busier. Mofeng was newly established, everything was just starting, and I needed to recruit disciples, build halls, and set up formations. Fortunately, the sect leader waved his hand and gifted me a ton of resources, 30-some kinds of natural treasures and a complete peak guardian formation. Li Chongsheng also transferred from the law enforcement hall to the mountainside of Mofeng. He claims it's so this old man needs to stay close to keep an eye on his son. In reality, he just wants to leech off Mofeng's spiritual energy to cultivate. Mofeng is close to the highest peak, and the concentration of spiritual energy is several times higher than where he used to be. But I'm also happy about it. With Master helping me out with the small stuff, I can relax a bit. Even the other peak lords are proactively sending disciples to help. After all, I saved the entire sect's lives, so everyone's willing to return the favor. In less than a few days, Mofeng already had its initial foundations. Even the spirit herb garden in the back mountain had already planted its first batch of spirit herbs. What surprised me even more was that after the news spread, quite a few disciples actively applied to transfer to Mofeng. Like no cap, following Lin Mo Yin means you definitely won't suffer any losses. I screened them all and finally accepted 20 disciples, including Su Shower, who actively applied. The porcelain doll girl who welcomed me at Little Peak back then is now the most hardworking cultivation disciple among the mortal spiritual roots. In addition, there were also several older disciples with higher grade spiritual roots and some new disciples who showed courage. That day I was cultivating in Mofeng's main hall. Lu Yuan Shisheng came to visit, bringing with him a jar of fine wine. Rumor has it that it's a 1,000-year spirit brew that a Fengzhu had kept for 3 years, and that absolute madlad managed to get it. The two of us were conversing on the mountain peak, the mountain breeze carrying waves of flower fragrance, which was truly pleasant. Luan put down his wine cup, his face full of emotion. Shidi, you've only been in the sect for a month. Shidi, you've only been in the sect for a month and you're already a Fengzhu. To be honest, even now I still feel like I'm dreaming. No exaggeration, at this rate of cultivation, you won't need many years to break through to the creation realm, and another 10 years to transcend tribulation isn't impossible. At that time, I'm afraid the entire divine continent will have to watch your face to survive. He said these words sincerely, because the miracles I've created on this path are indeed too many. But I paid attention to something more important. The Dantian is starting to heat up again. That familiar warm feeling is rising again from deep within the Dantian. The spiritual energy flows faster and the circulation speed of the Donglai scripture suddenly skyrockets. I was shocked in my heart and quickly sat down cross-legged, and Lu Yuan was startled when he saw this. Shidi, what's wrong? Is something not feeling right? Should I call for Yao Chen Shishu? I didn't have time to answer him because the spiritual energy in my body was increasing at an unimaginable speed. The barrier of the spirit connection realm is like a thin layer of paper easily pierced by the surging spiritual energy. Spirit breakthrough realm directly surpassed. The spirit manifestation realm instantly reached the heavens, and purple energy spread out once again. But this time the scale was much smaller, only within a range of 100 miles. After all, Luyan Shishong only said it casually, which can't compare to the entire sect cheering, but it was enough for me. When the aura stabilized, I had stepped into the spirit manifestation realm. Luyan Shishong was stunned. The wine cup in his hand fell to the ground and shattered. I just said something casually, and you've already broken through, and even skipped 2 major realms? And GGT. I smiled sheepishly. Perhaps it was due to the medicinal effects of the heavenly origin creation golden pill taking effect. Lu Yuan had a look as if he had seen a ghost, his mouth opening and closing. He slapped his thigh hard. Shidi's talent is indeed unfathomable. I bet with your comprehension and foundation, you probably won't stay in this spirit manifestation realm for long. Maybe you'll break through again sometime. The Dantian is hot again. I quickly interrupted him. Shikshong, just drink your wine. Don't talk about such nonsense. Here I, but Lu Yuan didn't know. Every compliment from this bro is charging me up. After downing some booze, he's even more hyped. Just over there, fanboying all over himself as expected of the chosen one. Rules are useless when it comes to our boy. Realms that others cultivate their entire lives for. He just chugged a cup of wine and bypassed it. Shidi, you'll probably be the youngest tribulation transcendence expert in divine continent. Ah, scratch that. At your pace, you'll probably just ascend straight to shattering the void. I suppressed the burning sensation in my Dantian and hurriedly dragged senior brother Lu Yuan down the mountain. If this guy keeps talking, I'm afraid I'll break through on the spot again. After closing the hall, I sighed in relief, looking at my hands. The spirit energy of the Yuling realm is flowing within my meridians, 10 times denser than the Tongling realm. Did bro just isekai'd into a cheat system? Just relying on others praising him, and he becomes stronger. I sat on the Peak Lord's seat in the Mofeng main hall and began to seriously sort out everything that had happened over the years. Shifu said, it's not strange for you to awaken a divine-grade spiritual root, and I instantly awakened a divine-grade spiritual root. Su Xiaoer said you might have a supreme-grade spiritual root, and my spiritual root began to transform. Lun Yuan said, you cultivate 1,000 miles in a day, and I immediately broke through the realm, even attracting lightning tribulation. The entire sect praised my unparalleled alchemy skills, and I unintentionally refined the 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill. The entire sect shouted in unison, you can defeat the Blood Origin Demon Lord, and I really killed him with one move. Lun Yuan said, you will break through again soon, and I immediately jumped from the Tongling realm to the Yuling realm. This rule is extremely clear. Simply put, it's 8 words. People praise I'm strong, they praise I'm godlike. Moreover, I also discovered some important details. First, the effectiveness of flattery is related to the sincerity of the other party. The more heartfelt the praise, the stronger the effect. Perfunctory praise is almost useless. Second, it's related to the strength of the other party. 1 sentence from the sect leader is more effective than 10 sentences from ordinary disciples. Third, it's related to the number of people present. The more people praising at the same time, the more terrifying the cumulative power. Like when facing the Blood Origin Demon Lord, the entire sect of thousands of people shouted in unison. The power that surged into my body at that moment was probably comparable to a Void Realm expert. Fourth, the more specific the praise, the more accurate the effect. So you're saying adding a bit of Linky is all I accomplished? Nah, saying I can one-shot is a legit one-shot. Thinking about this, I can't help but have a crazy idea. What if one day all the cultivators in Shenzhou cheer me on at the same time? Wouldn't I really be able to shatter the void with my might? I shook my head, temporarily setting aside this idea. Wouldn't I really be able to shatter the void with my might? I shook my head, temporarily setting aside this idea. Right now, the most important thing is to take good care of Mofeng and prepare for the upcoming exploration of the ruins. In the following days, I cultivated while managing Mofeng. Speaking of managing, in reality, most of the tasks are handed over to Su Xiaoer. Don't let this girl's low spiritual root fool you. Her workability is top-notch. Of course, my most important cultivation method is still having the disciples praise me. Su Xiaoer seems to have a natural talent for this. She goes all over Mofeng every day, saying the Peak Lord is so amazing, the Peak Lord is so handsome, the Peak Lord is definitely the strongest person in the world. Although she's just a disciple with a mortal spiritual root, the flattery effect is limited, but it can't withstand her saying it hundreds of times a day. Little by little, my spiritual energy has thickened quite a bit. The other disciples also followed suit. The 20 or so disciples of Mofeng from top to bottom praised me to the heavens every day. Every word made my Dantian slightly heat up, and my spiritual energy and cultivation base unconsciously increased. The most ridiculous thing is the last sentence. Someone praised me for being handsome, and I really became handsome, so handsome that the head-turning rate in the sect is 100%. Even that old pervert Hong Tianxiang had to look at me a few more times, which left me speechless. 10 days later, my Yuling realm cultivation base has stabilized in the middle stage. If I hadn't deliberately suppressed it, I was afraid I would have broken through to the great perfection of the Yuling realm already. The reason I suppressed it was because I discovered that increasing the realm too quickly would lead to an unstable foundation. Although the power brought by flattery is real, if I don't take the time to consolidate it, it will eventually leave hidden dangers. These 10 days I haven't been idle either. In addition to cultivation, I also went to find Shishu Yao Chen to ask for advice on alchemy several times. Although the 9 Revolutions mysterious life pill last time was accidentally refined, that experience made me deeply interested in the Tao of alchemy. Yao Chen's attitude towards me is extremely good, almost pouring out everything he knows. Under his guidance, coupled with the disciples praising the Peak Lord's alchemy skills every day, my alchemy skills leveled up like crazy. Now I can consistently cook up top-tier elixirs. On top of that, I hit up Gongsun Han to ask for some pointers on the literary path. Gongsun Han tells me that the upcoming literary gathering in 3 months is a huge opportunity for me. Told me to get my act together and prep for it. The old man even gifted me a cultivation manual. Said it's the life's work of generations of Taizhen Peak masters, filled with techniques on how to cultivate through literature. Just flipping through a few pages, and I'm already feeling the benefits. My literary 4 treasures are vibrating in my palm, like they're begging me to hurry up and comprehend it. Qin Haoshen's attitude did a complete 180. Before that, Dezhen Crown Prince always looked at me with a mix of resentment and jealousy. Now, pure, unadulterated respect. I bumped into him on the road once, and he actually gave way and bowed slightly. Something that was straight up unimaginable before. I'm guessing he's still shook from watching me one-shot the Blood Origin Demon Lord. After all, against absolute power, even the luck of an imperial dynasty can only do so much. The 2 princes, Sima Shun and Ouyang, are even more respectful towards me. They even secretly tried to ask Su Xiaoer if they could transfer to Mo Feng, which I of course rejected. Simple reason, Mo Feng doesn't take princes and crown princes. These guys come with too much baggage and drama. As for Lin Xingshui, ever since I one-shotted the Blood Origin Demon Lord, the way she looks at me is different now. No more of that rivalry and unwillingness to be outdone from before. It's replaced with something indescribable. Sometimes I see her on the road and she'll give a quick nod before quickly averting her eyes. Straight up impossible before. With her personality, even acknowledging someone is already a huge flex. The day to set out for the final ruin exploration finally arrives. That morning, the entire Qingyun sect came to see us off. Disciples packed the drill grounds, even the mountainsides were full of people. I'm standing at the very front of the group, with Lin Qingshui, Qin Haotian, Sima Shun, Ouyang, and the 3 awakened royal geniuses behind me. Peak Lords Hong Tiansheng and Zhao Qianfu are in charge of escorting us. Li Xuanji is standing on the highest peak, bidding us farewell. Lin Mo Yin, Master will be waiting for your triumphant return. With your talent, the legacy in the ruins is yours and yours alone. And my Dantian starts heating up again. Taking a deep breath, I hopped onto the Cancun map and flew out first. Behind me, shouts of invincible Feng Zhu, the child of destiny, will surely win. All the treasures in the ruins belong to Lin Mo Yin. Feng Zhu will definitely obtain the Void Realm inheritance. Each shout turned into a warm current in my Dantian. The spiritual chi unconsciously thickened a bit. Thickened a bit more. Lin Qingshuo flew not far behind me. Her icy voice suddenly drifted over. Don't embarrass Qingyun sect. I turned back to glance at her. Under the morning light, a faint rosy hue seemed to grace her usually cold face. I chuckled and turned back. This was probably the closest thing to take care Lin Qingshu could muster. A purple gold light trailed behind me, tearing through the sky as I flew into the distance. The sea of clouds churned, the mountains and rivers were majestic. Hong Tianshang waved his hand, opening a path of spiritual chi for us. In the formation, Qin Haotian and Lin Qingshui flew behind me, one on the left and one on the right. The 3 kings among the Tianjiao followed slightly behind us on the flight. I couldn't help but recall Master Li Changsheng's words with his teary eyes as he saw me off. My Lin Mo Yin will definitely return safely and will also obtain the greatest opportunity. Another surge of warmth in my Dantian. This old man doesn't even forget to power me up when saying goodbye. I chuckled and shook my head, increasing my speed. Ahead, deep within the sea of clouds, a mysterious area awaited us. The ruins of a Void Realm powerhouse from 10,000 years ago. What secrets do they hold? Whatever it is, as long as there are people there, as long as someone opens their mouth, I, Lin Mo Yin, will never lose. Because in this world, there will never be a shortage of people willing to praise me. And as long as there are people who praise me, I will continue to become stronger. Until I am invincible, the legend of the Child of Destiny has only